Hi everyone, Gavin Day coming to you from just outside BMO Field in Toronto, and since 2015 is a very special year for soccer in Canada, I figured I'd give some occasional updates as to what our national teams have been up to. And January was a very busy start to the new year with 3 teams in action, so let's get to it right away with Canada's women's national team. The ladies, of course, excited for this summer's FIFA Women's World Cup, held here in Canada, of course, but they were in Shenzhen, China for the Baoan Cup, where they had 3 games against some quality opposition. And it was 3 games and 3 wins for Canada, as Canada won all 3 games by 2-1 scores. Janine Becky and Kadisha Buchanan scored as Canada beat Korea Republic in their first game. Adriana Leon and Christine Sinclair were the goal scorers in the second game as Canada beat Mexico 2-1. And then in the third game, a preview of the opener of this summer's World Cup, Sinclair scored twice as Canada beat China 2-1. Sinclair, as you see, was the tournament's MVP. 2015 will also be a very busy year for Canada's men's national team and head coach Benito Floro. In July, they'll take part in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. One of the match days of that tournament, by the way, will take place here behind me at BMO Field. But in June, we'll also see the return of World Cup qualifying. That's right, the road to Russia gets underway. And after a draw in January, Canada found out that they'll play a home and away series to get things started in June against either the British Virgin Islands or Dominica. The team was in action in January with a pair of games against Iceland in Orlando, Florida. Floro calling in a mix of some North American-based players about to start their seasons and some youngsters based over in Europe. But let's take a look at the highlights.
Canada and Iceland kicking off their 2015 schedule. Canada gearing up for the Gold Cup. Iceland have their sights set on Euro 2016. Both nations dreaming of the 2018 World Cup in Russia. This time the cross toward the back post. Sigurdsson is there, and all of a sudden Iceland are in front. 6 minutes in. Picture perfect cross to the back post. Kristinn Sigurdsson making his Iceland debut. Gets a debut goal to celebrate. As much pressure as we've seen from the Icelandic side since the opening goal in the 6th minute. The ball sent back into the 18-yard box. Plenty of bodies to meet it. Chief among them, Jonsson, and it's in again. The second goal of the match. Mattias Williamson doubles the lead against the run of play, it has to be said, but it's Canada 0, Iceland 2. Corner kick played short. Tishoff to send it back into the edge of the 6-yard box, knotted down, and there's a goal to half the deficit from who else but Dwayne De Rosario. Trademark celebration, the chance to celebrate his 80th cap with a goal to his name. Toward the back post, a good ball for De Rosario. Good control from Dwayne De Rosario. A push from the back. Not enough to draw the whistle. De Rosario's attempted cross is blocked. Second effort denied by Jonsson.
Oh, great job there from the veteran in the twilight of his career, still showing a bit of magic.
As time runs out on Canada, the final score, Canada 1, Iceland 2, as Iceland open up their 2015 schedule with a win in Orlando.
Andy Marson. That's a lovely spin there by Ralston, and there's the first save of the opening half. Stamatopoulos there, equal to a beautiful shot this time. Well, here's Iceland with a free kick, and it comes, it's headed onto the bar. Or was that a Canadian player who flicked that onto his own crossbar? Nakayima Faran, good play. Canada come again, it's opened up here down the left-hand side, inside the penalty area. Is that a penalty? The referee says yes. Well, it's going to be the veteran striker here, De Rosario. He takes it into the corner, no problem at all. For the second time in 3 days, De Rosario is on the score sheet for Canada. Oh, it's a chance here for Iceland to substitute inside the penalty area. What's he brought down? Well, it's another penalty. It's going to be Frid Jonsson designated with a task here to equalise for Iceland. And he does, in emphatic style, rolls the ball into the corner. Well, there's a chance here for Emerson. He's inside the penalty area. Well, he played the ball across. Williamson was there, and he just couldn't put the finishing touch on it. And there's the referee's whistle for full time here in Orlando.
And so a 2-1 loss is followed up by a 1-1 draw down in Orlando. De Rosario with both goals. That brings his tally to 22 all-time for Canada, and he tops the Canadian goal-scoring charts. But as I said, there are bigger games to come this year. Canada's men's under-20 team was also in action in January as they were in Jamaica for the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, and they were trying to qualify for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand. Head coach Rob Gale had his team playing some good football coming in, and that carried over into their first game of the tournament against Haiti. The Montego Bay Sports Complex was the venue for all of Canada's games at the U20 Championship. It didn't take long for them to get on the scoreboard when Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé goes over the top to Jordan Hamilton in the 11th minute. He's in on goal, puts it through the goalkeeper's legs, and just like that, it's 1-0 Canada. They would double their lead 7 minutes later, and it's Michael Petrasso on the left side feeding Samuel Adekubi, and he crosses in. Hamilton is there, unmarked, heads home. 2-0 Canada, a dream start for the team with 2 goals in the first 20 minutes. Haiti would respond, though, in the 29th minute. They win a free kick. Marco Carducci, the goalkeeper for Canada, comes out, can't handle it. Perhaps a foul on the play, nothing given, and Jonel Desire is there to head home, and it's 2-1 heading into the halftime interval. Into the second half now, and Canada gets the much-needed insurance goal. It's a nice counterattack by Canada as Chris Nanko finds Keons Froze on the outside. He cuts in to Marco Bustos, and the Vancouver Whitecaps player is taken down. Referee points immediately to the spot. Michael Petrasso steps up to take the penalty, and the Queen's Park Rangers man goes to his left to give Canada the 3-1 lead. It's a lead they would hold on to and make the final in the first game, 3-1. Unfortunately for Canada, that was as good as it got, as that first win of the competition was followed up by 4 close games, but all of them were on the losing end, so that means Canada will not be going to the 2015 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Looking ahead now to upcoming games involving Canada's national teams. First up, preparations are getting underway to put together Canada's women's under-17 team that will try to qualify for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup next year in Jordan. They've been invited down to the U.S. and Carson, California for the Women's NTC Invitational Tournament at the U.S. Soccer NTC at StubHub Center. They'll get 3 games in. First up will be Japan on Wednesday, the 11th of February. 2 days later, they'll take on the host Americans, and then follow that up on Sunday, the 15th of February, against Mexico. Also in action, Canada's men's under-17 team. They'll be in Honduras for the CONCACAF Under-17 Championships. Head coach Sean Fleming will be trying to guide Canada to its 3rd straight FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Canada's in Group B, along with Costa Rica, Haiti, Mexico, Panama, and St. Lucia. And also in March is the annual trip for Canada's women's national team to the Mediterranean, where they'll play in the annual Cyprus Cup tournament. Canada is in Group B in that one, alongside Scotland, Italy, and South Korea. The next update like this one I'll bring to you will be at the beginning of April, where I'll wrap up a quiet February and a busy March. But that's it for now from here in Toronto. I'm Gavin Day. This is Canada Soccer TV, and I'll talk to you soon.